Dank times, Danker thoughts, sweet vibes and taking it sleazy. The dankness is taking over, nonsense is dancing through his mind. Oh, the dankness is taking over. Dank times, Danker thoughts with Angelo Grosso.
You know, no matter how many times I hear that song, it hits me right in the heart. I love it. I can listen to that song all day and don't think I haven't. I want to kick off the 51st podcast with your boy Angelo. And I sure hope that if I fart, it won't be picked up on the mic because I had Greek food tonight. And I asked for extra garlic sauce, and boy, did they give me extra garlic sauce. And I must have just been drinking that stuff like it was coffee because within 10 minutes of me finishing the meal, my stomach started to gurgle, and I was looking down, and it looked like I was carrying a baby. It's like my stomach from the inside out was pulsating like I was carrying a baby or a xenomorph. Is that what they call from the Alien movie? Xenomorph, yeah. Of course, I jest. But still, I've been tooting like a jazz musician for the last couple hours here, but I think I'm feeling a little bit better. So I thought, why not? Let's kick off a podcast episode, and I want to first start by talking about the Seattle Mariners. Like I predicted, we were playing like shit, and we're starting to go down in the standings. We're now 18-18. Which is still respectable for this time of year, but our offense is so brutal. And the rare occasion when we do have a good offensive night, our bullpen just fucks it up. And one pitcher in particular, and I bitched about him before, Rafael Montero, either needs to be cut, put it on the DL, or use him on blowouts because the guy just is not figuring it out. He's blown us at least 5 or 6 games, if not more. But the big news that just came out today is that on Thursday, the 13th, starting a homestand against the Cleveland Indians, we're calling up 2 of our top prospects in our farm system and 2 of the top prospects in all of baseball. Outfielder Jared Kelenic and pitcher, what's his name? Logan Gilbert. Logan Gilbert will start the game, and Jared Kelenic will be in the outfield. It's a big deal, and as long as I've been a Mariner fan and that's been since the 90s, really, I cannot remember a time when we've called up 2 prospects of this caliber in the same game, let alone the same season. It just rarely happens, so I'm pumped. Do I think they're going to make a huge difference? They can't hit or pitch any worse than some of the bums we have currently on the team. So, of course, I'm rooting for them. And I think it would be amazing if everyone just kind of gels and clicks right away and we start to go on this tear and we become a playoff caliber team. That would be great. Do I think it's likely? No. Absolutely not realistic. But I don't even think it's hopeful. I think it's asinine, to be honest, to have those thoughts. But I think at the very least it would be entertaining. So for the casual baseball fan, this may not mean much to you, but for a diehard baseball fan like your boy here, I'm fucking pumped. I am pumped. And the way Kyle Lewis is starting to hit, I think by the All-Star break, I will feel comfortable enough in him as a Mariner to invest, $100 and something on a jersey. Those fucking jerseys are not cheap, boys. We'll see how he's playing by then. But yeah, the future is bright. And I know that the Mariners seem to have these bright future outlooks every few years, and it just never works. This time it feels different, baby. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. Fool me for the 55th time, Seattle Mariners? That's what you call a fan, baby. Oh, an ignorant fan. A sad, pathetic, old fool of a fan, but a fan nonetheless. But let's move on here to the more important worldly news. Liz Cheney getting kicked out of Republican leadership for speaking the truth. I can't believe she said it. And of course, the latest war in Israel between Hamas, Israel, and the poor Palestinians that are caught in the middle there. So if you missed it, it came through, I think today or yesterday, but the House Republicans ousted a defiant Liz Cheney for her repudiation. Dude, I cannot say words sometimes. For her for her refusal to accept Trump's election lies. I don't know why, but it bothers me when I can't say words. I have to go back and say it. Repudiate. Dude, I am retarded. Anyway, you get what I'm saying. She refused to acknowledge and accept the falsehoods and the lies about Trump actually winning the election, but having it be this massive cover-up lie because of, facts and logic and reason and common sense all dictate that this is such an irrational, dangerous, evil lie to perpetuate, especially by those in power. Perpetrate. Woo! Dude, I may have to go back and take English again. But anyway, it is very upsetting to me to see someone who I despise as much as I despise Liz Cheney. But she was saying the truth, and that wasn't good enough. And in fact, it was so bad that they kicked her out of leadership. She was the highest, I think she was the second ranked Republican and the highest woman in the Republican Party. And, there's cocksuckers like Jim Jordan and Ted Cruz and Lindsey Graham are still in power there. And even worse, there's scumbags like that Matt Gaetz, that Florida congressman who paid for sex with minors while trafficking them. He took pictures with them, showed other Republicans in Congress them, and he hasn't been reprimanded. Neither has Hawley or any of the other Republican scum, Marjorie Taylor Greene and the other bitch, I've forgotten her blank on that cunt's name, of urging the insurrection and trying to further it by adding fuel to the fire and saying, yes, this is happening. So it's really disgusting. I try to see both sides. I really try to think that not all Republicans in power are like this, but they're in the minority. The Romneys and Cheneys of the world, they're in the minority. And again, I am an Liz Cheney fan. I think she's an awful, awful human being and an even worse politician. But what has been done to her is not okay. And I liked her defiant speech. She really did let him have it. I thought there was an outside chance that somehow, some way, these House Republicans would come to their mind and just be like, you know what, this was all for show. We're not really going to kick her out, blah, 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 blah. Nope. And it's not like she's just some nobody either that somehow tricked her way into becoming Republican leadership. I mean, she's Dick Cheney's daughter, okay? It's like Trump beating Jeb Bush for the presidential election. Like, holy shit, how much of a fuck you do the Republicans give to these holier-than-thou political party families like the Bushes and the Cheneys? They just don't give a fuck. I feel like the Democrats sometimes hold on a little too much to their supposed royalty, but anyway. I pulled out some quotes that I wanted to read from Liz Cheney's fiery floor speech. We must speak the truth. Our election was not stolen, and America has not failed. Remaining silent and ignoring the lie emboldens the liar. I will not participate in that. I will not sit back and watch in silence while others lead our party down a path that abandons the rule of law and joins the former president's crusade to undermine our democracy. And again, fuck Liz Cheney 9 out of 10 times, if not 9.9 out of 10 times. But for her to just do the bare minimum and acknowledge reality, and it's not good enough. And even though I said earlier that I still have hope that Republican leadership or just Republicans in Congress aren't all like the House Republicans that are kicking out common sense people speaking the truth, I think the people that do defend them are in the minority. I don't feel that way about the voters, thankfully. I feel like voters are understanding the reality of the situations like this. You're still going to have maybe 25 to 30% of the well, maybe more than that. Maybe 40% of Republican voters that do think like these House Republicans think. I can't imagine that the majority of Republican voters in this country believe that Donald Trump actually won the election. I do not believe that. I cannot believe that. My own sanity and faith in the human race cannot make me believe that. So, but when you look at those in power, Jesus Christ, it's got to be like 85 to 90% of Republicans leading in power believe that bullshit. At least they say they do. Who knows what they really do? So, it's disgusting. It really is. And I want to make it clear one more time that I do not like Liz Cheney. I do not call her a hero. I do not support Liz Cheney. She supports voter suppression. She turned her back on her lesbian sister and all LGBTQ Americans in order to get elected. But it's crazy that the Republican Party has become so extreme that just speaking the truth, facts, is heresy. I mean, this is how fucking cults go, baby. So anyone who says that the Republican Party is not a cult, they're in the cult. They're drinking that Kool-Aid. They really are. And it's not even a good flavor of Kool-Aid. Like, the best flavor of Kool-Aid is like orange or red, but they're drinking like that disgusting blue shit. Ugh, disgusting. Now, the Democrats' Kool-Aid, it's still Kool-Aid. It still does the same thing, but at least it tastes better. I say the Democrat Kool-Aid is probably an orange or a red tasting. You know, maybe the yellow one was good too, but purple, blue, ugh, that's Republican Kool-Aid. Disgusting. But it's just a sad state of affairs. It really is. And I urge any of my 10 listeners that if you vote Republican, just think about this, man. This is not okay. This is not how a sane political party acts. We need a little bit of defiance, you know? This new Republican Party, you know, the party that's not the Cheneys or the Mitt Romneys or the Bushes of the world, it really is a cult. It's a goddamn cult. All you need to do is look at their sacred golden cow that they worship every goddamn day and chug the balls of, and that's, of course, the orange Cheeto dick traitorous himself, Donald Trump. It is kind of funny to me that he is still banned from Facebook, which I'm torn on that. I'm torn on Donald Trump being kicked off some social media platforms. I understand why, but that's a whole other topic. But Donald Trump started his own social media. Basically, it was a blog. You basically write a blog because you can't. There's some things you can do in there that you can't do in other social media sites. So it's stupid and it's bombing. It's not getting any traction. So good, go fuck yourself, Donald. But this new culty Republican Party, you know, for a progressive liberal like myself, who, you know, I would say maybe 10%, 15, 20% of my beliefs are maybe moderate, and maybe even I have a conservative belief here or there. I don't know at this time. But my point is, when the stars of your new political party are cocksuckers like Matt Gaetz, who again, who's a pedophile and a sex trafficker, and you got Jim Jordan, who defends pedophiles. You know, look up what he did with the that gym coach. I forget what college it is, but Jim Jordan's a real pile of shit. And these three new bitches, Marjorie Taylor Greene, Lauren Bobbitt, and Josh Hawley, I mean, don't you just wish you could line them all up and just run them over with one of those concrete steam things? One of those, you know, those big industrial, it's like the big steamroller. That's what I'm talking about. Don't you wish you could just line up those three and just run them over with a steamroller? Wouldn't that be great? Their heads just pop like grapes. And speaking of Marjorie Taylor Greene, that nut job today was out there yelling at AOC on the steps about being an Antifa supporter and all that bullshit. You know, Antifa just is like a word they throw around when they don't have anything to say. When you give them facts and data about anything that's counter to their weird evangelical supposed beliefs, they start throwing out Antifa and socialism. It's nonsense. But when these are your stars of the party, Jim Jordan's, the Matt Gaetz's, the Marjorie Taylor Greene's, Lauren Bobbitt's, whatever her fucking name is, and Josh Hawley, when those are your fucking stars, you're in trouble, man. You're in trouble. And this whole theory of it splintering the Republican Party, I hope that happens. I really do. I wish it would happen with the Democrat Party, but even more so on the Republican side, because it's scary what some of these Republican leaders are still saying. They still say that Donald Trump won the election. Some of them still say that the January 6th insurrection on the Capitol, it's being blown out of proportion. It was just a rowdy tourist visit. Are you insane? A rowdy tourist event? You want to have a rowdy tourist event, follow a bus full of Japanese at Disney World. That's when shit gets rowdy. So, they're out of their fucking minds. They're just out of their fucking minds. But we know who they are. It's clear who our political enemies are in this, okay? So, even LaFonda has to put her 2 cents in here, but anyway, let's move on to Israel and Hamas. Another cheerful topic. So, earlier this week, the latest battle between Israel and Hamas took place, and as I talk now, there are still fights happening. In fact, the latest I checked, Hamas is shooting rockets deep into Israel territory from residential Palestinian neighborhoods, which is unfortunate because then Israel attacks back, and because Hamas tends to attack from residential areas where there's a lot of civilians, Israel tends to kill a lot of civilians, such as children. I do feel for the Palestinian people. How can you not, unless you're a heartless coward? You have to understand that, you know, it's not just one country, but pretty much all leading powers at one time told Israel, hey, you know how you don't have a state? Well, we're going to just kick some people out. We're going to give you this land, and it's up to you to figure out what you're going to do with these people. So, of course, there's going to be some animosity there. As much as I do defend Palestine in a lot of this, well, you know, the Gaza Strip that they did own, they did lose to Hamas back in 2007. In fact, this current war between Hamas and Israel, this is the 3rd time since that Islamic militant group, Hamas, took the Gaza Strip in 2007, and they were fighting rival Palestinian forces. So the unfortunate thing is there are a lot of Palestinians, if not mostly Palestinians, in Hamas. So it's hard to defend Palestine when, you know, they are terrorists. However, it's hard to defend and feel really bad for Israel because they are a pretty brutal government in their own right to Palestinian peoples. So instead of trying to play the blame game here, instead I would try to fix this Palestinian-Israeli conflict that has been happening well before I was born. I just don't know why they don't all go to the bargaining table and say, here's the land. For whatever stupid, holy, religious reason, it means a lot to these people. So you're going to have to carve up some holy sites. But you know what? As long as one gets one, the other gets one. One loses one, the other loses one. You know, keep it fair and balanced. You know, I don't understand why a country's religion or cultural religion dictates what land is theirs based on their religion if the other people living on that land don't agree or believe in it. It's just one of the many problems I have with religion. So just divvy up the land, man. Oh, you know what? Say, you know what? We're done with Israel and Palestine. Let's just create one country, combine everyone, living in harmony. Yeah, it's going to be a little bad there for a little bit of time, but I would use South Africa as an example because as much as apartheid was horrific and awful and evil, when that ended, there was I will just say adjustment period, to keep it blunt. But I think maybe, I don't know if this has been tried yet, because again, I am no expert. In fact, I'm borderline retarded, as we've discussed earlier. I just don't know why they don't say, fuck all the names of the countries and whatnot. Let's just all come together, form one. Let's break down these barriers. Let's try to embrace one another, and maybe we'll get some kind of hybrid religion out of this that's Judaism and Muslim coming together. I don't know. As I'm saying it now, as the words are coming out of my mouth, it sounds like a stupid idea and it wouldn't work, but it just hasn't been tried yet, you know. And I don't know the people of Israel or Palestine. I don't think I've actually ever met an actual Israeli person or an actual Palestinian person. I don't know. Maybe I have, but I don't know. I would like to meet a few of them and try to get a educated opinion of what they actually think of one another. Is it really like Blood and Crips? Really like it? Or is it just the leaders that are at each other's throats? The wealthy people that are at each other's throats? The holy people that are at each other's throats? And then the poor and ignorant are the ones that have to fight their wars, like it always is. The poor always fight rich people's problems. You know what I'm saying? So, anyway, that's my 2 cents. Just utter nonsense. But, yeah, combine the state, see what happens. What's the worst that could happen? More bloodshed? Women and children are already getting slaughtered. So, I can't see where it could get any worse. Maybe if they're using actual weapons of mass destruction. That's probably bad, where it could go. But let's cross our fingers that doesn't happen. But enough talking about stuff that I have no idea what I'm talking about. I'm just talking shit. So, I hope Palestine and Israel come together. You know, send me over there. I'm sure that I could heal all these wounds that they have. But speaking of battles that are starting, Bill and Melinda Gates are getting a divorce, which is crazy news because Melinda, I also happen to be single and ready to mingle. And Melinda, before you judge me, okay, just know that I have just enough financial security for me to be happy with that part of my life. Because Melinda, you're gonna have to worry about your next boyfriend or boyfriends, if you're into the whole polygamy thing, that a lot of them are gonna want to be with you solely because of your money. Not me, okay? I'm doing just fine for my own wants and needs. I don't need your financial backing to influence me. However, if you want to slide me something on the table, I'm not going to look the other way. And if I can speak frank here, Melinda, I can't imagine Bill being good in the bedroom, okay? Now, I don't know how old Bill Gates is. I'm going to go ahead and just guess he's got to be at least in his 50s or 60s. I'm a young Italian buck in his prime, in his mid-30s. I will do things to you that I know Bill hasn't done to you, and if he has ever done them, it's been at least 20 years since he's done them to you, okay? You know, I'm just going to be blunt. I'm going to continue this blunt train here and just say, I will lick you all over. I will go to Munchtown and Poundtown. Now, I am a better oral sex than I am at overall sex. You know, I'm comfortable enough to admit that, but I will do it from the back and the front. I do not care. I'll let you do whatever you want to me in the bedroom. I will throw away all inhibitions out the window, and I will just be your plaything. But besides the financial and the sexual stuff, I also happen to have an opinion on everything, including all these positive things that you have in your life. I also am the same. I like helping people out. I like helping those less fortunate and rising them up. I don't know if I'm like your ex-husband and wants to vaccinate the whole world and then protect the pharmaceutical companies' licenses for said vaccinations, and then go to Jeffrey Epstein's island without telling you, which that had to have been the reason they're getting a divorce. I heard a rumor a couple years ago. She told Bill, do not go to Jeffrey Epstein's fuck pedo island because that boy is a shady. So I won't do that to you, Melinda. I will not go to a pedophile island and leave you alone, okay? I will stay here with you and be your toy husband, your young plaything, whatever you want to do. I like art shows. I like operas. I like the finer things in life. I like 5-star restaurants. You know, I love all that shit. And I like to travel. You know, Melinda, I feel like you and I would be a good fit together. In fact, let me just see. Now, on my dating profile, I have the age range up to 50, because I don't really care. Her and I hit it off, and we ended up becoming an item and, you know, whatnot. I do want a family, though, so a 50-year-old probably is not going to reproduce. But you could always artificial inseminate. Is that when I have sex with a robot? I don't know. But yeah, I think a 50-year-old and I could be very happy. How old is Melinda Gates? Okay, where's her... She's 56. Ooh, I'm not having a kid with her. But you know what? I bet she's so wealthy, and she's got that Bill Gates hookup, that her uterus is somehow that of a 20-year-old. I bet she somehow has plucked the uteri out of many fertile younger women and just put them all in her, so that when I am taking her to the Pound Town, and let's be honest, Pound Town with me is no more than a 10-minute trip. But the foreplay, well, that could last up to an hour if I'm feeling good. What the fuck was my point here? Oh, yes. So I feel like she has the uteri, that of a 30 years younger woman, because she's Melinda Gage. She's got the hookups, okay? That's another thing why I feel like you and I would be a good match, Melinda, is I have some hookups, you got some hookups, let's combine them. And I really feel like with our powers combined, Captain Planet style, we can really help the world and each other. So I'm sure you can get a hold of me, Melinda. I'm sure you got the connections to do that. I just got my second vaccine, so I understand that now that I have both vaccine shots, that Bill can easily just turn on a switch and, you know, my arm will explode, or I'll start speaking Mandarin, or I don't know fucking what's going to happen, but he can track me. And I know if you and I are going out on the night on the town, Bill can probably track us and probably infiltrate certain digital spaces and fuck up our date. But you know what? I have patience, Melinda. I understand this divorce is going to get a little messy, but I'm here for you. I will always be there for you. So, Melinda, hit your boy up. I'm on Bumble. I'm on Plenty of Fish. I'm on Facebook dating. And if all keeps going down the shithole that is the Angelo single life, I am also going to open up on an account on Match. So, save me, Melinda Gates. Save me. You and I can do so much together. So, yes. Hit me up, Melinda. And yes, I finally have gotten my second COVID vaccination shot. I got it about an hour ago on my left arm, and as we speak, the left side of my body is numb and staticky. And also, when I was in the bathroom after the shot, my head was itching, and I felt like I had this little bump on the top of my head, and I kept scratching it, and all of a sudden, an antenna shot out and started broadcasting a very weird signal that I couldn't pick up. But besides that, don't really see any side effects. I've always wanted to learn a second language. I tried and failed with Italian and Spanish, and if I would have known back then that all I needed to do was get a Fauci, Bill Gates approved vaccination shot, and I could speak fluent Mandarin, shit, I would have gotten them so much sooner. And goddamn, you know, I really embarrassed myself getting that vaccination shot, because, you know, the world we live in, we have to showcase everything we do online, and I hate it. I hate people that put all of their business and their life and their drama on social media. That's why if you look at my social media, I tend to post funny memes, funny pictures, the occasional political stuff, but, you know, I keep it light. And I thought to myself, well, the last time I got a shot, I did put a photo up, so let me do it again. Didn't think much of it past that. As they were leading me in to get the shot, I thought, oh, that's right, this thing is high security. I probably can't take a photo. I know, though. Let me ask the firefighter nurse that's helping me. And when they were explaining to me what the shot was and asking me if I feel any illness before the shot, if I'm allergic to things, doing their job, I interrupted them saying, hey, can I give my phone to one of you guys? You can take a picture of me getting the shot. And as I was saying that vomit that was coming out of my mouth, the firefighter and the nurse both just looked at me like, this fucking Fanoke. And the third person, this woman who was giving me the speech, just said, you can't take a picture in here because it's high security and everything, and there's people's information. And I said, I apologize. I really don't need the photo. I don't even know why I asked. I was really embarrassed. And again, the firefighter and the nurse were just looking at me like, this fucking son of a bitch here. And I said, it's just too bad. This is the society we live in. We all have to take pictures. I'm trying to play it off like, oh, fuck me. And the poor woman tried meeting me halfway. Well, you can take a photo. No one's going to stop you. I'm like, well, never mind. I don't want to start drama. I just want to get the shot and I'll get the fuck out of your hair. No. Well, since we can't take a photo for you, but we can give you all these stickers, and I kid you not, like I'm a fucking toddler. They gave me like 5 stickers, and I did throw 3 of them on. Then I was just so embarrassed, and then the firefighter leans in, all right, just a little prick here, and I said, without missing a beat, that's what she said. thinking I would get a laugh at that. Nope. So then the mortification was complete. I then got the shot. I said, thank you for everything. And the woman kept talking to me still about, well, you can take a photo. Like, she was so sincere about me taking the fucking photo. And I said, never mind. I forget I said anything. And as I was walking away, she said, well, at least you asked. A lot of people just do it. And I thought, we're so self-obsessed with ourselves. No wonder we would elect a self-absorbed, narcissistic cunt bag like Donald Trump. But I was able to go into H&M, into the fitting room, and take a pretty good photo. So even though I was mortified and embarrassed at the COVID station, I am happy that I was able to get over that quickly and take a decent photo of everything in the H&M fitting room. So, yeah, your boy's getting better. I still have a little bit of high class in me, just a little bit. So, yeah. COVID is done, or the COVID shots are done for me. I think now I have to wait a couple days or a couple weeks. I don't know, until I'm fully over it. But we'll see how it goes. I'm just excited to get it done. Another thing I could check off the list. And hopefully within a week or two, I'm out there again, boozing and clubbing and partying with some buddies, going to concerts, comedy shows, meeting some ladies. Hopefully Melinda Gates. I feel like I really have a chance with her. You know who else I think I have a chance with is 2021 Britney Spears. I follow her on Instagram, and oh my god, she is a level of hot train wreck that I think is right up my alley. I really feel like I have a shot now, because Britney Spears was the woman who ushered me into puberty and helped me really graduate out of puberty pretty quickly, and continuing to follow her since I was a teenager. And I met her when I was in 7th grade, and I fell in love. I still have the autographed magazine somewhere around here. And so I've been a huge fan of Britney Spears ever since I first touched myself inappropriately to her Baby One More Time music video, which was many times, believe you me. And now that I see that she is finally bucking her horrific family and she's now getting some freedom and she's living in Las Vegas, I'm telling you, she is out of her mind right now, but she's still so hot that I feel like I could really achieve my lifelong dream of giving Britney Spears the best 45 seconds of her life. Because, guys, I would be so excited and nervous and just a hot, sweaty, gassy mess that there'd be no way she would enjoy it. I would have to trick her into something like telling her that I'm some record producer or one of her long-lost Alabama family members. I don't fucking know. But I feel like I could pleasure her pretty well with my hands and mouth. But once we actually got to, I hate to keep using the term Pound Town, I would imagine I would splooge within a couple minutes tops, and I'm giving myself a long leash there. I would imagine the moment she would spread her legs or whatever we're doing, and I could see the holy grail of vaginas for Angelo. I think my soul would just leave my body, and I would look like the victims from the movie The Ring. I would just die. I couldn't do it, I bet. So I really think I stand a better chance with Britney Spears than I do with Melinda Gates. But I plan on going to Las Vegas this year. Hopefully she's single by then, Britney Spears. I'm going to go to one of her shows, and oh my god, I'm going to try my hardest to get backstage. And I should reiterate, I'm willing to do whatever it takes to get backstage, And once I'm backstage, all bets are off. So I got 2 high-powered women on my bucket list, Britney Spears and Melinda Gates. And we'll see how the hunt progresses. Not like such a fucking perv over here, but anyway, thankfully we're done with this segment, and now we're going to dive into my journal, which we haven't read from in quite a while. All right, journal entry number 1. Let me get something to drink here. The BG doc was amazing. Holy shit, this is an old entry. I think I watched that BG documentary on HBO. January? December? I don't know. It was a long time ago. Just think, instead of becoming full-time songwriters after their disco backlash, Imagine if they made a heavy metal album in the 80s. Can you fucking imagine? So I'm going to have to take a minute to remember that documentary because it was a little while ago. But I think I talked about this before in the podcast, but up to a couple of years ago, I thought that the Bee Gees I heard that were kind of like acoustic pop and the Bee Gees I heard that were like disco funk were two entirely separate bands that just happened to be called the Bee Gees. And no, I did not confuse them with the Fugees. But it was very embarrassing to find out that they actually are the same band. But it was also really cool because you were like, holy shit, like that band to make those kind of songs during the British invasion and in order to stay relevant, kept changing their sounds and kept getting hit after hit after hit after hit. And I mean, I could look it up, but I mean, I wonder how many top 20 hits they had. And God, in 15 years, I bet they had at least 20 to 25. But I do remember there was the backlash against disco in the 80s because it was still kind of relevant. And there was that infamous, I believe it was the Chicago White Sox baseball stadium where they had a fuck disco night. Well, it wasn't called fuck disco. That's really what it was. Everybody brought in their disco records and they all burned them on a big pyre in the middle of the field in the 7th inning. And then there was a big brawl and the police and fights and arrests. And it's awesome. Check it out. Check out the fuck disco Chicago White Sox evening. I think it's happening sometime in the late 70s. Anywho, but it would be cool because they were able to transcend their beginnings and kept making relevant popular music, just whatever that was popular at the time. But yeah, that disco backlash did kind of fuck them over, but then they switched gears and became very accomplished songwriters, especially Barry Gibbs. But it would be cool to see if they didn't stop making music because of the backlash. There was a lot of hate on the Gibbs. God, I really don't remember much of the Bee Gee documentary. Are they all brothers or is only two of them brothers? It doesn't matter. But it would be kind of cool if there wasn't the disco backlash, or if there still was the backlash, but instead of quitting and becoming songwriters, they just said, okay, maybe we need to breach out. Instead of making pop dance music, let's see what all this hard rock or arena rock is. Can you imagine? Barry, LaFonda, chill. Can you imagine the Bee Gees performing a heavy metal or a progressive rock or it's anything that's metal or rock related? I bet it would be sick. Can you imagine that in the 80s? They would almost fuse together metal. Oh my God. If they fused metal and disco and created an entirely new genre, in my head I can hear metal disco and it doesn't sound bad. Especially when you have Gibbs' high-pitched voice. I bet it would sound brilliant. So if you have HBO and you like music documentaries and you've heard of the Bee Gees or enjoy the Bee Gees, I would highly recommend that documentary. And yeah, it is kind of cool to think what could have been. What could have been. And I think we can squeeze in one more journal entry here. But let me get one that's more timely and relevant because some of these entries, like I said, people, are months and months old. Although I'm scrolling through some of the older ones, and there are some gold ones in here, so I'll definitely come back to them. But here's a current one. So, on the same trip that I got the vaccination shot, and obviously I went to H&M, not just to go take a fucking picture there in the dressing rooms, you know. So I was doing some shopping at H&M, and I have finally come to the conclusion that I will never, ever, ever in my wildest dreams be able to fit in a pair of pants that has the word slim, skinny, or straight in the title. And I've been trying on a lot of pants these last few weeks because of the weight loss and how I got rid of most of my pants because I shed so much weight that they don't fit. They slide right off. And I really don't like wearing a belt unless I have to, you know, for a formal occasion. So I really only have 3 pairs of pants, and 2 of them I just bought recently, and the other is my only pair of jeans. So I need jeans. I need some denim, baby. I like H&M. What can I say? And I must have tried on 3 pairs of pants, and no matter what I did, I couldn't even get them up to my thigh. And it reminded me of the previous shopping trips. I've gone to Gap, I've gone to Nordstrom, Macy's, JCPenney's. I went to Eddie Bauer and Banana Republic, and there was another one. Was it J. Crew? I don't remember. Oh, I went to Lucky Brand Jeans. But anyway, I went to a lot of places. The mass majority of the selection were these three types of jeans: the straight, skinny, and slim. Jesus, I'm gonna have a hard time remembering those three. So I'm just gonna have to say fuck it. It ain't gonna happen. I'm gonna have to just go to the fat fuck section. No, I shouldn't say that. I'm gonna have to just find a pair of pants that say relaxed. Because when I was a kid, the jeans that I would buy usually were called baggy. Because I was a chubby kid with big thighs and a big ass, and I need to have room for my developing crotch as well. I'm still kind of at a loss for words of how long skinny jeans has stayed relevant, especially with men's clothing. I understand why women would like skinny jeans or skinny anything, slim anything, straight anything. I get it, because women's clothing tend to be more form-fitting because that's what we like, baby. But men's clothes, for the most part, we like it to be a little bit more relaxed. I don't know why. That's just what the patriarchal society and fashion have told us we need to wear, how we need to dress. So, but yeah, I'm going to have to figure out where I can go to buy a decent pair of pants that fits me without, I have to like lean in my gut and do a little hop and then button it and then my gut just flashes out and I look like a melting candle. No, I don't want that. So it sucks though, because I do like a lot of these pants, these jeans, and I just can't wear them. I can't wear them. And you know what? Since we're talking on style and shit, I'm also surprised that the ripped jeans are still in style. That's what I did. I went to Abercrombie and Fitch and Hollister. Same thing. I was shocked. I thought for sure Abercrombie and Fitch and Hollister would have the most updated, fashionable apparel, and who knows if they still do. But I just cannot believe that every pair of pants was skinny, ripped jeans. And honestly, guys, the waist 34, 36, I couldn't even get my goddamn arm in there. So I don't know whose waist is 36, but is that of it's actual like a 20. I don't know. I feel like all these pants have been made for very skinny people, like Asians or Persians or Indians. I don't know. Maybe that's where the money's at. Maybe we're all us white men are broke and buying our shit at Walmart and Target and Old Navy. Oh, fuck. I hope that's not the case. So, yeah. It's a sad state of affairs that your boy can't fit into 3/4 of the available men's pants out there in the world. So, I guess I could just start wearing kilts and whatever the Muslim men wear. It's kind of like a gown. It goes all the way down. I got to say, I have tried on some Middle Eastern clothes, and they are flowing. I like clothes that have a little bit of flow. I am losing weight, so I do like a little bit of hug there. I want people to be able to see, some of my curves, if you will. But I do like a little billowness in my clothing. So anyway, I think we can wrap up this part of the journal, and I think we can actually start to wrap up here. And, I did talk a little bit about me getting my COVID vaccination, and it just made me think that I understand people that don't want the vaccination. I do understand them. I guess I should clarify. I understand some of them. The ones that truly believe that it is a microchip or that it's going to kill sperm or kill the uterine lining in women, or they just think these weird, wild shit. I mean, those are the people that I think we can all agree that we've had enough of. And if you don't want the vaccine, don't get the vaccine. That's fine, but keep it to yourself. Don't start shit with people online or in person. Just shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up if you don't want the vaccine. It's your decision. And yes, in America, you should not be forced to get it. But because it's America, and we are just sucking on that capitalistic dick, the businesses have the right to tell you whether or not you can or cannot work for them or shop there if you aren't wearing a mask or aren't vaccinated. We have the ability to do all those things. And the fact some of these anti-vaxxers, anti-COVID believers, whatever you want to call these dumb fucks, The fact that they are willing to spend, in some cases, thousands of dollars to get a fake vaccination card, whereas they could just get the goddamn vaccination and get the vaccination card for fucking free. These fucking bitches are so stupid that they would rather pay for something they could get for free. But again, if that's your prerogative, fine, do it. Waste your money. Do whatever you want to do. Have your beliefs. You have the freedom to do so. This is America. But just shut the fuck up about it. And if you think it's your God-given right to ruin other people's days by spouting your fucking stupid, non-scientific nonsense, don't get the vaccination. In fact, go to fucking India. Go to India. They don't have the vaccine there. Go to India and see how that goes. I'm sure India would welcome you with open arms, you dumb white bitches. Oh my God, it's just so unbelievable to me. It's not something that's worth talking about, your belief on things. Not everyone's opinion should be shouted from the rooftops or be shared at all. You do have the right to say and believe in whatever you want, but that also gives the public the right to call you a fucking bitch-ass dope. We have the right and we have the freedom to hear you and say, okay, I've heard you. You're still a fucking mook and an accident, and you are a leech on society, and here is a one-way ticket to India. Or Brazil, or wherever else you want to fucking go where you think they have freedoms that we don't have here. And see how that goes. See how that goes with COVID. So, again, do whatever. Do whatever. You could still believe Trump is president. You can believe Biden's being controlled by George Soros and Bill Gates. You can believe that the earth is flat, that the moon landing was fake, and that under every pizza business there is a pedophile basement with Hillary Clinton eating fucking baby fetuses. You can believe all of that shit. But just shut the fuck up about it. Please. Just give society a rest, okay? We understand you've given up on progress. We understand you've given up on the evolution of man. We get that. Just shut the fuck up and stop being a cancer to society, okay? And on that happy note, I love y'all. Hope y'all take it sleazy. Don't do anything I wouldn't do. And get your fucking vaccinations. Again, you have the freedom, the right not to get one, but I have the right and the freedom to say, get one, you fucking coos. Coos. I love the word coos. I'm glad that I'm bringing it back. Anyways, for the final time, yes, I think we're about done here. So have a good weekend, everybody.